Welcome to Thursday night clout chasing action here at All Influencer Wrestling.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Chicago, Illinois, the $1 Million Champion, the Wolf.
I, as always, am your clout missioner, Captain Tyriant Guidal, the most Ashley Anson Byron in all of professional wrestling. And we have here a showcase match to celebrate the ascension of our new $1 Million champion, the Dark Wolf, Fenris. The title not on the line. Fenris has thrown down an open challenge. Anyone can step to the Wolf. While the title is not on the line, if anyone is able to step up and put her down, surely that guarantees them an immediate shot at that title. And this is not a name I expected to step up to the challenge.
And her opponent from New York,
The fair weather friend, Paris O'Shell. I'm sure Paris thinks that $1 Million championship would be a great accessory to complete her look. And whilst someone to not be underestimated, Paris has not had the greatest of fortunes chasing the clout here in All Influencer Wrestling. This might be a very one-sided celebration for Fenris. The Purple Princess of Popularity, riding the crowd waves. We'll see how long this mood lasts. And we are off, immediately circling each other, locking up in the middle, and grapples to start. Paris shockingly getting the better of the initial technical exchange with Fenris. Wrapped arms right around the waist, locked on, but Fenris simply too powerful. Reverses, and now it's Fenris in the dominant position. And up and side slam. Down goes Paris. And stomps right to the shoulder. This is more what I expected to see. Look at the ease with which Fenris just picked up Paris and held through at side suplex, not releasing it. There goes a second release that time. And a boot to the shoulder. Slowing it right down, inflicting the pain, wrenching the neck with that headlock. Does not feel like the chiropractic appointments that Paris is likely so fond of, and double knees from the mid-rope. Fenris just yelling at Paris to get back to her feet. She is not done inflicting punishment yet, lighting up with a series of strike combos. And it grabs by the hair into the corner. A series of gut punches unloading to the Fairweather friend. An arm wrenched around the ring rope. And getting a good run up for that running knee strike. Irish whip into the corner, following through. Hoisting into a dangerous position up onto the top rope and wrist lock, dragged down, smash into the middle of the ring. Only a one count though. Paris showing she's still got some fight left into her. Although she would certainly do well to find that fight, because right now, this is very, very one-sided. Up over the shoulder, side slam. 1, 2, good night in Paris. And look who isn't done yet. The former $1 million champion, the one who Fenris beat for that title, Serenity Spider, says, Fenris, I'm not done with you yet. This spider may have been washed out, but they are climbing right back up this particular water spout. Interesting developments to kick things off. We are going to be right back with more, hopefully a little more even-sided clout chasing action right after this.
Hi, I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, most dashingly handsome pirate in all of Limsa and the Clout Missioner of all influencer wrestling. As a swashbuckling pirate, I know a thing or two about hats. And sometimes, even I feel the hats I own are just too big. So when I feel the need for minuscule millinery, there's only one place that comes to mind. TinyHatLabs.com. Tiny Hat Labs have always sought to push the boundaries of what's possible in client engagement millinery feedback solutions. Their guiding question remains the same today as it was when they were founded. What if small hat, but tiny? Operating at the nexus of science, engineering, artificial intelligence, art, fashion and design, Tiny Hat Labs seeks to pave the way to a paradigm shift in headpiece technology. While others ask, how much? TinyHatLabs.com asks, how little? I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, and TinyHatLabs.com is my favourite place for hats on the internet.
Welcome back for triple threat action. 3 resilient, dominant clout chasers all in the ring at the same time.
Making his way to the ring, weighing in at 101 pounds, the Enforcer, Lori Bishop!
The Enforcer makes her way to the ring. If there was a breakout star of Season 2 of All Influencer Wrestling, it was this woman, Lori Bishop. Seemingly impossible to defeat. The one who finally did indeed knock Lori off was the woman we just saw calling out Fenris in our opening match, Serenity Spider. Lori moving on from the $1 million title. Lori has her sights set on the Sold Clout Championship, the big one here, currently held by DC Lasser. DC will be in action later on tonight in a showcase match of his own, but that is much later on. Our second competitor making their way down to the ring. Sevius Doom, fresh off a surprising victory over Benny of RBFS. He grabbed the bull by the horns and came out on top. Sevius now in triple threat action, looking to get his win over 2 equally dominant figures. And here is the third one.
Weighing in at 228 pounds, Magnificent Archangel!
The Archangel, Kai Hawkeye. Hawkeye has been having some solid appearances since his debut in all influencer wrestling and looking to continue that today, though he will have his work cut out for him. Sevius Doom and Laurie Bishop, two of the more resilient, more reckless clout chasers. We have Sevius able to pull wins out of seemingly a despair, and Laurie Bishop, a record speaks for itself. And kicking things off, and it looks like Hawkeye watching on as the other two begin things with a big running boot by Laurie Bishop, then grapples up with Hawkeye, quick kick to the gut, and it's Hawkeye gaining the upper hand against Bishop, but there, right waiting, is Sevius, and immediately goes for a very quick roll up, rolls through though, and Hawkeye reverses. And there, finally, to break this chain of pinfall attempts is the Enforcer. Impressive core strength by Hawkeye. Laurie is not light and launches into the turnbuckle, but the problem with showing off your strength like that in a match like this is Sevius Doom was waiting right there to capitalize. And weapons, of course, entirely valid in triple threat action, and Hawkeye breaking out the sledgehammer. Bulldog by Sevius, ducks under the clothesline attempt by Laurie, and it is Sevius Doom in control of the match right now. Hawkeye there though, lining up, hip toss rolls through, Sevius going for the pinfall. It would be shocking to end this early, and indeed only a 1 count at this point. Way too early, way too fresh to end things like that. And Laurie's time for a show of strength. And Sevius lugging Hawkeye around, getting him secured in the back there, and here comes Laurie waiting with that steel chair and using it like a missile, but a quick kick by Sevius. He had the wherewithal to reverse that. Excellent strategy by the X Factor. And there's Hawkeye though with that steel chair, and again rolling through those smart feet of Sevius. Rolls out of the ring. I think Sevius may have decided it's time to get a weapon of his own. And what is Sevius going to go looking for? And it's the kendo stick. And charging towards Hawkeye, who saw it coming. A quick jumping knee puts paid to Sevius. Laurie yelling at Hawkeye to bring it on, and he is more than happy to do so. And up over the shoulders goes Hawkeye, and the Angel falls. Back into the corner, it's Sevius once again in control. Hoying Laurie Bishop into the announce table, bouncing her off it once again. And now back into the ring, but there's Hawkeye pouncing from the shadows. And Laurie immediately back to her feet. It's her turn with the sledgehammer now. And Hawkeye throwing that kendo stick like a lawn dart, took a sledgehammer for his troubles, but gave Sevius a moment to capitalize. Going for the pounce, Hawkeye rolling out of the way, playing possum there a little bit, I think. Dodged that blow from Bishop. And going in razor's edge. And planting the Archangel, but Bishop is right there, ready and waiting. I'm not entirely certain what Sevius was thinking there. There was no way that that was going to get a pinfall. Not with the Enforcer there, wanting to keep this match going for her own benefit. And launched out of the ring, rolls over the shoulders, goes Sevius. Hawkeye almost followed suit, but instead grappled and able to fight his way through, though. Punches to the face of Laurie Bishop. Running big boot. I think he may have thought that Sevius was a little more incapacitated than he was, because the X Factor is right back in the ring once more. And again, a counter by Hawkeye. Landing that clothesline off the rebound, and now lighting up Laurie with a series of punch combos. Going back to the outside, looking for those various fallen weapons. Those kendo sticks waiting on the outside, just begging to be used, and there was the sledgehammer hidden behind that ring post. An attempted counter by Sevius, but no, launching the sledgehammer and connected right with the dome of Laurie Bishop, who is cut wide open. Crimson mask leaking down the face of the Enforcer. And as Sevius goes crashing down to the outside, the Archangel sending the X Factor right down to hell. And it is Hawkeye dominant, but he needs to get this back into the ring to end this. And there is some good payback, well deserved by Laurie. Tried to go for the counter, did Sevius, but simply outpowered by Bishop. And now once again, it's Sevius Doom standing tall. But still needs to get his opponents back into the ring. This cannot end outside of that ring. The pinfall or submission has to happen within the ropes. And bouncing Hawkeye's bonds off that sickening thud. And speaking of sickening, Bishop with the kendo stick, and then countered by Hawkeye, wrestles it out of the Enforcer's hands, and now it's Hawkeye unleashing heavenly fury. Big boot, and immediately followed by a faceplant by Bishop, and now the Enforcer's the one standing tall. What an exchange sequence that was. Sending Hawkeye crashing towards the ring steps. A grand bow for Bishop. And now it's the X Factor sent careening into the ring post. Hawkeye stalks behind, and Bishop saw him coming, allowing Hawkeye to get into the ring. Rolls through to try and capitalize where she can see, but got caught by Sevius. And a double team. Double knee strike, but that was a very short-lived alliance as the Talon is locked in. Hawkeye going for the submission, a blow to the gut. Sevius Doom desperately trying to fight out, and he does so. And going once again to try to land the Razor's Edge, and down he goes, but there is Laurie, ready and waiting. Breaks up the pinfall before the ref can even get into position. Sevius, I think perhaps knocked a little silly, didn't really see much point going for the pinfall there, but double hand choke slam plants Laurie, but Hawkeye immediately back to his feet. The resiliency of the Archangel. And up and choke slam again by Sevius Doom. Both his opponents down. I spoke too soon. Bishop back to her feet. Smart move by Sevius to get out and grab that kendo stick. And just unleashing fury with that. And as Hawkeye rolls out to recover, Sevius goes for the pinfall. This may well be it. 1, 2. No, Laurie Bishop still kicks out. I swear I thought that Sevius had it at that point. And backstabber, down goes Doom, but there's Hawkeye. Bet he had to scramble to make it in there, but the Angel soars, rolls through, quick pinfall. This could do it. 1, 2, and no. barely, I swear I thought that was a 3, but millimeters from canvas. Bishop once again gets the shoulder up. Hawkeye's isolated Sevius. I don't think he realizes that Bishop is back on her feet, waiting with that kendo stick. We see Hawkeye's been busted open as well. Blood flowing freely from that temple, and there is Laurie. Big boot by Hawkeye, both opponents down. Can the Archangel finish this? He picked which one to go for. It was Bishop who he went to, and still no. Maybe he should have chosen Sevius. Bishop will not be defeated. Rolls through. Sevius waiting. He's going for that third attempt. The third razor's edge of the match. Will this finally do it? Hawkeye, the angel, plummets down to earth. But there, once again, is Laurie waiting, ready. Though this could be Bishop's moment to capitalize. Hawkeye down, face plants. I think though she may have knocked Archangel, out of that stun. There once again, a backstab, but there is Hawkeye rolling right through into that prone position Bishop was left in. Hawkeye going for that remaining kendo stick on the outside. Sheer devastation in the ring. Frustration in the face of the Archangel as once again he launches the kendo stick. Suplex by Doom, and has that spelled doom for Laurie Bishop as he gets the submission hold locked in. Snaps the arm. Bishop needing to use the ropes to haul herself back to her feet. Baseball bat. And what is it with everyone in this match throwing weaponry? And up and crash down. Hawkeye standing tall. You can see the blood on the dark canvas in the ring. He once again plants Sevius, but this hip toss, I was going to say, Baby Bishop can capitalize, but it looks like Hawkeye's the one in the best position. Splinters over. This has to be it. Surely Bishop can't kick out again. And indeed, a exploding kendo stick over the ribs of Laurie Bishop. And finally, thank the gods, this match, hellacious contest is brought to an end, and it is the Archangel Hawkeye standing tall. Time and time again, we saw Laurie Bishop kick out of many a predicament that would have ended the match for a lesser clout chaser. The Enforcer proving she is still a dominant force to be reckoned with. But in the end, Hawkeye finally the one who is able to stand tall. A very well-deserved and incredibly hard-fought win. After that match, you have to wonder if Hawkeye is going to celebrate by going axe-throwing the amount of weapons that were hurtling around the ring in that contest. And we see here the final matches surrounded by the splinters of that destroyed kendo stick. We are going to take a moment to get a fresh ring canvas on, but we have plenty more clout chasing action growing up after these short messages. We'll be right back.
Luz tried everything to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Hammers, axes, magic,
saws, more magic, fire, even more magic, and magic explosions. Still, the door refused her. Why? After all this time and effort, why wouldn't the damn thing open? Sure, it was an enchanted door that would open the path to a potentially catastrophic amount of magic pouring back into the universe, causing endless natural disasters that would drown or bury most cities from existence. But there was an equally high chance that wouldn't happen, and that the magic had been sealed away by ignorant fools for nothing. She had to believe there was a reason why she could tap into a sliver of the magic locked behind the door. That this was it, her singular life purpose. Open the door, restore its magic back to everyone like it used to be in the stories, where anyone could use magic, for good or bad. That had to be it, right? That had to be why she was standing here, in the door's pocket dimension, on a small plot of Earth, large enough for only one person to stand in front of it, swearing at this void black door with iridescent veins flowing along its surface like water, living, taunting her to just open it already. So why was it so hard to swing the damn thing wide? Somehow, she had shoved the door apart just a crack ages ago. A thin, wispy line of light seeped out of a seam down the centre. Whenever she used teleportation magic, as she had decided to call it since she didn't know the correct term and hadn't seen others use it before, probably because it was dangerous and required sliding through space and time, but who was counting? She tapped into a sliver of warmth and power to travel wherever she wished. She'd managed that slight opening unthinking as a child, then never again. What was she doing wrong now? Worse, what if she wasn't doing anything wrong? What if this door wasn't meant to open for her after all? What else could there be for her but this? After everything, after all that searching, what else could there be?
This has been an extract from The Void Door by V. M. Ayala. To read the full story, please visit beneath-ceaseless-skies.com and search for issue 378. And thank you for watching Masterpiece Theatre.
Welcome back for tag team action, and a team we have not seen in action this season. A welcome return. Time to unleash the chaos.
Following contest is a tag team match scheduled for one fall. On their way to the ring, the Warrior Princess and
Maverick and Asha very much looking forward to taking advantage of the updated rules this season. They have been in many a match before as a team, but under ruling where they were only able to have one in the ring at a time. Now, all gender role restrictions removed. Maverick and Asha entering the arena as a fully fledged tag team. The ultimate tall, small duo. But they are going to have their work cut out for them against an angry wall of beef.
and a combined weight of 998 pounds.
Benny Federico, and accompanying them, Reinhardt. In a shock upset, as referenced earlier, Benny was defeated by Sevius Doom previously, and now RBFX are back in the tag division, looking to re-establish their dominance. The ring we have had to reinforce. You heard our announcer say it just there. Damn near 1,000 pounds of pure grade A meat in the ring right now. And it looks like it is Federico and Asha who are starting things off. Blow to the spine. Asha lighting up and a big jumping kick. Down goes Federico. And smart move by Asha, trying to take out the legs of the bull, and locked in. Big chokehold, but powered out very early in the match to knock a move like that on. Asha is incredibly strong in her own right, but Federico able to power out of that submission attempt. And Asha telling him to get up to his feet. And crashing down with that double axe handle, and now it's Averick's turn. And immediately trying to go through for the pinfall, and just look at how tiny Averick's arms are around that tree trunk of a leg of Federico. It took everything the halfling had just to get that leg up. And speaking of legs up, caught the bad eye of Averick. That's the problem with no depth perception in these matches. And we always are shocked to see the athleticism of Federico. Nobody that size should be able to move the way that this bull does. Boots to the back of the head, and there's the tag made, and it's Benny now the legal competitor. Reinhardt watching on, advising his half-brothers from ring, and that is a crushing blow right across the throat of Averick. Damn near 500 pounds. And I think we're going to see again Federico top rope. Averick needs to get out of the way, and does it. I think that may have shattered the ribs of Averick into powder. And again, launched over. Averick is in real trouble. He needs to get Asha back into this match. Kicks the legs out from under him. And immediately going for the pinfall. And there's Asha to break it up. That's going to buy a little bit of time. But Averick desperately needs to make the tag. Submission locked in, but he's right there. I think that maybe Federico was trying to take advantage of Averick's diminutive stature, hoping he wouldn't be able to make the ropes, but he was indeed able to do so. And tag, and now Benny. And this could be very bad, and just a slow running shin strike right into the face of Averick, who rolls out of the ring. Very smart strategy by Bright Moon. And that quick counter, and rolls through to a quick roll up. Shocking scenes. If he was smart, Averick would be going for that pinfall right now, but he instead is firing up. Averick's self-confidence may be getting the better of him, but he does have that limb manipulation locked in pretty well. And manages to get all 500 pounds of Benny up and over for a side slam. And almost scored. Shockingly, Averick almost getting the pinfall. But there we go. Tag finally desperately needed to be made. And Asha now here to try to bring the cattle back home. Boots to the back of the spine. Asha right in front of Federico and Reinhardt, just tenderizing that beef. And again, the sheer strength of the half-orc. Big power slam. And it caught and a clothesline. Down goes Asha. Ducks out of the way though and punches the bull right in the snout and tries to lift it up. I think Benny, no, Benny planted himself. Too powerful. And now going for the choke. And look at the way Asha went flying from that gut punch. That has to have broken a rib or two. And launched shoulder first into the ring post. Nasty work. And Asha now in trouble. There's the tag. Federico legal. Are we going to see that same again? No, up and over. And a free flight for Asha, but one with a brutal landing. Rolling onto the outside, trying to get some breathing room. Federico thought about rolling to try to capitalize. Averick having absolutely none of it, having a quick brawl, hops down. Seemingly yelling at Federico, come on then, big man, you want to do this, let's do this. Head scissors, though, by Federico. Grabs Asha by the head, pulls her back up, and double axe handle to the back of the head. Boots to the ribs. And Averick once again getting goaded into a confrontation with Federico, knocked him off the apron, did prevent Asha from making a tag there, so some solid strategy and a big step-up kick by Federico. Knocked off balance though by Asha. Can she capitalize? And indeed she can. Asha's strength in this team is those Battle Master tactics. She is an excellent ring strategist, an excellent combat strategist. Certainly the brains of the duo. Clothesline takes down Federico. Averick able to come in like a wrecking ball with that divine fury. And landing again right on that sensitive snout. The problem that Asha's going to have here is Federico is so large, he's going to be very close to those ring apron, or the ring ropes, excuse me, able to get a rope break relatively easily, and there's that grappling, finally goaded Averick on the outside, and this is going to be bad, and Averick bounces his head right off the hardest part of the ring. Asha, though, waiting. Federico now in a difficult position. He needs to get back into the ring, but Asha waiting for him. And she's right there and quick, and the ref is caught in a very unenviable position between these two behemoths. Planted Averick, though, back in position. I thought he was still laid out on the outside, but he was just hiding behind the ref because he's just that short. There is the tag made. Benny now legal. It seems like Asha let that happen. And just one hand and just casually dropped to the mat. Fights her way out though, elbows. I think Benny was trying to finish off Asha right in front of Averick. She was having absolutely none of that. Fights her way through. Asha proving she is in no way going to play the role of damsel in distress. Quite the opposite. She is a damsel who puts others in distress. And tag made, Averick now legal, and this is what I was talking about, going for that wrecking ball, but Benny rolls out of the way. Clothesline sends it down. Running knee strike. Boots to the ribs, and boot now to that again sensitive snout. Averick manipulating the limbs of Benny into a tight position, and he's going, I think, he's got the fingers. and wrenches those and finally crashes down the armored weight of Averick right onto the lower back of Benny. Sends him in and tag made. It's now time for Team Chaos to get some double team action going. And cracks down, trying to eliminate some of that dangerous offense, but again, immediately goes for the... and rolls through. No account there. Averick didn't even attempt to break that up. Knew he didn't need to. Full faith in his partner. And running down goes Asha again. Averick still not making any move. There he goes. He got a little nervous there. Asha still able to break through. A bad strategy there by Averick. He wasted that opportunity. And now Federico back. Asha bounced off the ropes. Ducks over and big flying kick by Freddy. Desperately flies in to make the tag, and now it's Averick and Federico, the legal ones. And tag once again, Benny versus Bright Moon. Asha now laid out on the outside. Averick, though, rolls through, uses his momentum to knock Benny down and send him flying. And again, targeting the sensitive snout. Smart move. And there's Asha back in the position, able to call the shots to direct traffic from the ringside. Uppercut landed. And Averick stomping right into the gut, and looks like he's going up top now. Don't often see this from Bright Moon. Double axe handle from the top, and tags in Asha to maybe finish this off. Asha goes to the mid rope, baiting Benny to stand. And so he does, and an axe handle of Asha's is just going to do it. 1, 2, 3. Team Chaos scores the victory over RBFS. An excellent return to form. Averick and Asha are going to be very happy with that result. But that is now back-to-back losses for the previously incredibly dominant RBFS. They are not having the greatest of times in this season. You can only imagine that is going to further fuel this titanic trio. And there we saw that impressive core strength of Asha landing that powerbomb. And just dumped for her efforts. There's that attempted pinfall by Benny. And we saw a number of these close near falls. This being one of them, that running scoop slam, from Benny. Averick too late on the breakup. Asha didn't need it. And then after the double axe handles from each of them, finally, the steer is back in the stable. Averick and Asha looking to raise the bar in the tag division. An excellent return, and certainly a team to keep your eye on, especially if you happen to be Candy to Ginger. More clout-chasing action to come, though. We'll be right back after this.
By default record, do you like space? Do you like queer romance? How about gay robots in space? Then you should read Emotional Resonance by VM Ayala. now available in print for the first time as part of the Best American Science Fiction and Fantasy 2024. See harpercollins.com for details.
Welcome back. More action up next, and it's going to be a returning Clout Chaser in action, facing off against Seraphim.
Making her way to the ring from New York, the Superstar.
We saw the new Attitude Seraphim in action last week in the underground. But up now against one of our returning Clout Chasers for this season.
And her opponent from New York,
MJ Fairhaven, the mother of pain, is back. Ready to unleash the chaos in Los Angeles tonight. It's been a minute since we've seen the Mother of Pain in the ring, so a quick reminder for all of our clout chasing faithful. She is a dynamo. She is an absolute pinball. No regards for her own safety or that of her opponents. She bounces around the ring like nobody's business. Seraphim desperately flailing to get rid of this abdominal lock that the Mother of Pain, and up and planted down. And over and missed, completely missed. She's not going to care though, right back into it. And just slap fight breaking out in the corner. And it's the Mother of Pain. I was about to say Mother of Pain gets the upper hand, but no, it's Seraphim who has the upper hand. Ducks through and slaps to the back of the head, and it is indeed Seraphim who gets the best of the exchange overall. Flying elbow to the back. And one, only a one though. It takes a lot more than that to keep the bizarre Mother of Pain down. Boot right to the... Well, I say boot. Seraphim does not wear boots or indeed any form of footwear whatsoever, so barefoot to the face, which actually, arguably, is significantly worse. Just foot sweat all over the face. You hate to see it. And up and crashing down, and looks like the Mother of Pain rolls through for an escape. Up top, and axe handle from the top down to the outside. And up over the shoulders, wriggles free. An excellent showing by Seraphim. Seraphim has been doing particularly well. Hook suplex, over goes the Mother of Pain. It appears during the time between seasons, the Seraphim may have been taking some training from the Artificer in the lab. Really unleashing a new side of herself since our return. Although needs to keep a very close eye on that count. Ref's count has hit 7. They need to get this back into the ring lest we see a double count out. I'm now starting to wonder, indeed, is Seraphim going for that count out victory? Mother of Pain needs to get back into this and win by count out. It's not the most honorable way of doing it, but with an unpredictable opponent like the Mother of Pain, perhaps you need to do anything you can to win. Seraphim, seemingly doubting her ability to keep the Mother of Pain pinned with that 3 count, went instead for the count out. And hey, a win's a win. You may disagree with the method, but you can't argue with the result. A chalk 1 up in the win column for Seraphim. That's how the history books are going to look back at the end result. Well, with that, we are going to move right back on to our next match. Plenty more to come. Main event is going to be, again, a showcase by our Sold Clout champion, DC Lasser. But we'll be right back with more action before we get to that after this. Welcome back. One-on-one action in the ring. And it's Glix up first.
It's scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Chroma City.
The Chromatic Druid Glix, one of our earliest Sold Clout champions, has not been able to find her way back into those upper echelons as of yet. But looking to score a win to get back on that path. As is, however, her opponent, who is taking a bit of a break from tag action to make an appearance for this one-on-one.
And her opponents are accompanied by the King. From Norwich, England, weighing in at 220 pounds.
Accompanied by partner Battlestar Galactica. It is Chris Kineas taking on Glix tonight. Team Tank Main, having scored a victory over our debuting luchadors previously, now here for one-on-one action. And sizing things up, grappling down in the middle of the ring. We got some technical graps going on. Who's going to win this exchange? It looks like it's Glix. Rolls around, grabbing around the waist of Kineas, who is desperately flailing his way out. Can he break that grip? And it looks like indeed he can, and rolls through. And now it's Kineas with Glix grappled grievously. I think he caught a flailing arm to the side of the head there for his trouble, but he's still got it locked in and rolls through and looking to end it very quickly with an immediate roll-up. But before the ref can even get into position, rolls through, and Glix tried to go through but bridged up by Kineas, and another backslide into a pinfall attempt. And finally, Glix rolls away for a little bit of breathing room, and we're right back to a shockingly technical match. Trying to choke out Glix against the ring, and now isolated her in the corner. And shoulder right into the ring post. No move too violent in the pursuit of clout. And immediately going for that pinfall once again. Not even a 2. Glix shoulder up before the 2 count. Kineas looking to try to end this early. Perhaps a smart move, knowing that Glix has the advantage of that druidic magic at her disposal. Waiting over by the ring and gets into position and drop kick from the top. Up we wait, and Glix baited back to her feet, and another drop kick from the top rope. Rolls over. Interesting strategy by Kanias, changing the rope, trying to perhaps throw Glix off, and there's a kick up by Glix, trying to change the momentum of this match. Pulls up. And looks like Glix getting a big run up, and forearm flying into the throat there, I believe, of Kanias. Gets a boot up of himself, counters, knocks Glix for 6. And up over the shoulder, and down goes Glix one more time. Ref getting in the way. All right. And here we go. He's sizing it up, and sweet chin music. 1, 2, 3. Good night, Glix. Thank you for coming. Had a flurry as Glix tried to get back into it towards the end there, but it looked like that match was all Kanias. Bolstered perhaps by the presence of his Tank Main tag partner cheering him on from the outside. The dominance of Team Tank Main continues. Here we see those ending stretches. Locking his target in. And good night, Glix. Does not matter how powerful your druidic magic is if you get your head damn near kicked off. We have 3 matches left on tonight's card. The first again being that showcase match by DC. But up next, it is time once again to return to the underground. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the underground. Mary, our first competitor to enter the arena today. Both of our druids in action tonight. Can Mary do better than Glix? She is going to have a little bit of an interesting time for it though, because her opponent has proven to be well suited for the underground match type. The Hunter, Presry D. Presry proving victorious in her first match in the underground arena. We have the Hunter versus the Druid. The Swarm Keeper versus the Animal Princess.
The following contest is an underground match. The only ways to win are by knockout or submission. Introducing first, from New York, New York, the Animal Princess. And from parts unknown, the
We've seen a few quick pinfalls. We've seen that count-out victory tonight. None of that's going to happen in the underground. KO or tap out. Those are your only options. And Presley looking like she is starting this out in a strong form, pummeling Mary. Hope Mary brought some good berries in those pouches, because I feel like she's going to need them. Immediately locking in the armbar. Presley looking to end this quickly, but Mary overpowers, rolls through, and punches her way out. Look though at the way she's favoring that wrist. Knee strike to Presley. That fan in blue on the right can't seem to believe what she's seeing. And clutch hold locked in. Presley though very quickly able to pull through. Lights up Mary after baiting her back to her feet. Presley is having an incredible showing in this match. This appears to be Presley's match type. As the crowd count along, 3 consecutive stunning knee strikes. Presley really isolating the head of Mary, going for that knockout victory, it seems. And again, blow after blow after blow, and Mary is busted open. Bounces her off the ring post. Tries to clear the crowd out a little bit, perhaps thinking of throwing Mary out onto that side, but Mary took that moment to recover, capitalize. Get a little bit of a healing word going on to herself, and up and down goes Presley. Mary, face caked in blood, lighting up the Hunter with a series of chops. Presley, though, able to counter, fighting back through, and Mary goes careening down to the mat. Once again, the Hunter stalks her prey. And over, down, into the crowd. I believe they were able to get out of the way okay. If not, it's fine. They've signed waivers. Presley showing off a little bit there. Just doing a quick circle in the corner to show that she still has plenty of stamina left. Rolls through, and she's got the legs locked in, choking out Mary. Remember, the submissions or KOs can happen on the outside of the ring. Mary blocked that knee strike this time, though. And DDT right to the unforgiving ringside. Hooks the arms up. And faceplant tried to take Presley's head off on that unforgivingly hard ring apron. Up to the top goes Mary. Taking a moment to strategize, taking a moment to center herself. As Presley slowly gets back to her feet. Both just eyeing each other, waiting. Presley seemingly baiting Mary to come to her. Mary doing the same thing, both sizing each other up, neither willing to make the next move, it seems. We have ourselves a little bit of a stalemate. And there it goes. And Mary tried, faked out there, Presley, I think. Went for the run. Presley went to grab it. Mary had stopped already, but after hopping out, Presley still able to get the best of that exchange. And I think the intention there may have been to send Mary into the ring steps. Mary knew that, fought her way out, and hurling off with a sickening, bone-crunching thud. And now it's Mary now in control, working over the arms of the Hunter and sending her falling over those ring steps. You can see there in that camera angle the panic in the face of the Hunter. She feels trapped right now. And just lifting with that Thurbolg strength. And throwing, just using the limb, throwing her over across like a sack of potatoes. Boots to the spine. And faceplant into the canvas. Mary now retaliating, unleashing all of that punishment she's taken up to this point onto Presry, and now it's Presry's turn to wear a crimson mask. I think Mary psyching up now. I think horrified a little bit by what she had done, but right into it, and again gets the better of the exchange. Quick slap upside the head. And Presry baiting another one, countered. Mary fell for the trap there. Caught it again and lighting up Presry over and over again. Presry once again yelling, "Come on and hit me." Mary seemingly more than happy to do so, and we got a hockey fight breaking out in the middle of the ring now. Which of these two is going to get the better in the exchange? It's Presry. Presry gets the blow that stuns Mary. And ouch. Bouncing wrapped around the ring post. The quick gut strike gives Mary back the other hand, which she then immediately loses via a punch to the face. And draping knee strike. I felt that might be it for Mary. Blow to the side of the head like that. As much head trauma as Mary has taken in this match. But she is still hanging on. Turning the attention to the ankle now. And she's got that grapple in, but Mary using the ring apron as leverage. Countered, but Presry again able to counter, grab the leg and just knocked Mary right back down to the floor. And submission, she's got those legs once again locked in. The arm is trapped. Mary is in a dangerous position, but she's got the knees up. Can Mary find the strength to break free? And she can. But the Hunter's mark is applied. And quick though, elbow strike, excellent ring awareness. We've referred to Mary in the past as a ring general. She has phenomenal situational awareness, and that was showcased right there. And both charging it. It was Presry going low who got the better, and once again, the Hunter is applying the mark. And up. And plants, but Mary still conscious. She's still in this. She's bloodied, she's bruised, but she is not yet broken. And there's the armbar locked in. Can Mary resist? Look at the sweat glistening on the abs of Mary, but she's once again able to fight through. And now's Mary's turn. Up. And powerbomb right in the center of the ring. Rolls through and again. And plants down. Mary still in there. These two fighting like stags for dominance right now. Neither willing to give up, neither willing to allow the other that sense of victory. At this point, I will be shocked if this match ends in anything other than a knockout. Up we go, and there once again is the submission locked in, arms around the neck, but Mary able to get, and no, she does indeed. Mary finally forced to tap. perhaps before losing an antler. After another hellaciously hard-fought battle, your winner, and continuing her rise through the underground, Presri D. Your current Intercontinental Champion, the ruler of said underground, Stephen Joyce, must be watching that with great focus and not a little bit of trepidation. We saw there that giant powerbomb from Mary coming close. But in the end, another submission by Presri. She got it bridged in too deep, and Mary had no choice but to tap. Two matches left to go. Main event, the challenge laid out by DC Lasser to his friend, the man we were just mentioning, Stephen Joy's champion versus champion showcase action in the main event. But up next, we have a man who has been on a mission. Who is the next victim identified by the Witch Hunter? We'll find out after this. Suplex the train! Himbo power! Come on. Need to pop more potions. Meteor strike! Oh, I can't suplex it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I can suplex a train, but I can't suplex an octopus. And here is our octopus friendo. Can I suplex an octopus? Nope. Can't suplex an octopus, turns out. Too slippery. Can I suplex Ultima Weapon? So we're going to start chucking some shuriken. I can suplex Ultima Weapon. Come on. We're so close. Lift. Come on, Sabin. Come on. Suplex! Boom! Hippo power! And it looks like the next to step up to the challenge is the Dream.
Making his way to the ring, weighing in at 101 pounds,
The Dream, Abel Theron, looking to put end to the nightmare that has been the crusade of Gabriel Van Hessel. Clout chaser after clout chaser of this supernatural persuasion has been falling to Van Hessel. Abel Theron looking to put an end to it tonight, or will Theron just be another victim of Van Hessel? Abel Theron, inaugural Sold Clout champion. Gabriel Van Hessel, former Sold Clout champion in his own right, and both misjudging each other to start with there, but it looks like it was Theron who took the worst landing. Van Hessel slows it right down and plants Abel. And it looks like Van Hessel is continuing this dominant streak. Abel Theron counters though, and a big swinging DDT is able to get Van Hessel planted. And though missed that crossbody and just rocked by a quick blow by Van Hessel. Dragging Van Hessel back into the ring. Tries to go for the... and not even a one. Not even a one count. Up to the top rope. We see this sort of high-flying daredevilry from Theron before. He has something to fight for other than himself this time through, and head scissors plants Van Hessel. Again, though, the divine, righteous fury of Van Hessel. Sent over to the ring, although I thought over to the ring floor with a clothesline, but hung on, able to get back through and shoulder checks Theron. Up over and hung out to dry. And one, but only a one. Rolls through. And ducks out of the way. Pulls up. And quick strikes. But Theron caught once again by Van Hessel and laid out on the outside. And a DDT. The refs count reaching 5 Is Van Hessel perhaps going to consider a count-out victory? Again, not the most honorable thing. We saw Seraphim do it earlier. And no, rolls back into the ring. Just in time. Knee strike. And 1, 2, but kicks out at 2. And lands, though, planted by Dante's Inferno. 1, 2, kicks out of the Inferno. Abel Theron, only a 2 count. Theron rolls through, and he is able to send Van Hessel flying down to the outside. Up to the top, and just, I think it almost looked like Gabriel Van Hessel let that happen. Just boots right to the face. Now getting lit up, but countered. Big swing and plant, and 1, 2, 3. The dream falls to the nightmare. Abel Theron came closer than I think anyone has to ending this streak. But once again, another of our supernatural roster members falls to the Witch Hunter. Kicked out of Dante's Inferno. We see that happen there. The Inferno was not enough to keep the dream down. But ducked through and caught, and it was Lucifer's fall that ends the dream tonight.
Here is your winner, the Witch Hunter.
Who, if any, can end the crusade of Gabriel Van Hessel? A thought to dwell on as we prepare for our main event. Champion versus champion showcase action. DC Lasser versus Stephen Joyce. Up next.
Hi, I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, most dashingly handsome pirate in all of Minster, and the Clout Missioner of all influencer wrestling. As a swashbuckling pirate, I know a thing or two about hats. And sometimes, even I feel the hats I own are just too big. So when I feel the need for minuscule millinery, there's only one place that comes to mind. tinyhatlabs.com. Tiny Hat Labs have always sought to push the boundaries of what's possible in client engagement millinery feedback solutions. Their guiding question remains the same today as it was when they were founded. What if small hat, but tiny? Operating at the nexus of science, engineering, artificial intelligence, art, fashion and design, Tiny Hat Labs seeks to pave the way to a paradigm shift in headpiece technology. While others ask, how much? tinyhatlabs.com asks, how little? I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, and tinyhatlabs.com is my favourite place for hats on the internet.
Welcome back, and welcome to our main event.
The following champion versus champion contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from parts unknown, weighing in at 219 pounds,
DC Lasser, the Sold Clout champion. Won from Battlestar Galactica in a unification match defended against Jeneth Astorio. These two have teamed together before as Tiny Hatamansi. Tonight they face off in friendly competition. The arena in celebration as the Intercontinental Champion, won in the Underground Arena. Stephen Joyce arrives. And locking up, and it's DC with that drop kick. Gets Stephen knocked down, and immediately a very quick pinfall attempt by DC, but Stephen having none of it. And now Stephen retaliating. DC on the ropes and thrown through. And over and flying goes Stephen, sending DC crashing down. And the crowd immediately into this high-octane, high-flying match, as they well should be. And steps through, holds up. And rolls into the ring. Grappling up, and it's Stephen with the waist lock around DC. Stephen's got that locked in tight, rolls through, goes for a cheeky roll up. Not enough though. And Stephen grabs by the wrist. And now he's got DC locked in a headlock. But up and slam, down goes Stephen. DC now with the upper hand, up to the top, and big, impressive moonsault by DC. Shoulder checked. And Plant's not going for the pinfall, it seems. Yelling at Stephen to get up. And DC in control. Getting a big run up, and it took too much of a run up, it seems. Stephen moving out of the way. DC smashing his knee into the turnbuckle. Stephen planted. And DC working over the ankle, the legs there, it seems, of Steven, trying to remove the ability to go high flying, eliminate, if Steven can't get up to that top rope, that does eliminate the coup de grace from Steven's arsenal, which is possibly the most dangerous move he has. Elbow strikes by DC. And up and over. And Steven gets the hand up. No fall as of yet. And a rope break by Steven. It went for the ankle submission. It's going to take more than that, though. Needed a little bit better positioning by DC. But he is all the way up to the top rope, and DC is dominating this match. And a flying shoulder check right to the chest of Steven. 1, 2, but no, the tiny hatted one persists. DC takes it to the ground. And up and release suplex. Over goes Steven. DC seemingly locked in indecision, can't decide which side of Steven he wants to go for. Takes a moment to reposition up onto the top rope. Steven, though, back on his feet. Tried to knock DC off. Too secure, though. And quick boot to the face. Down goes DC. And Steven's turn now to waltz to the outside. What does he have in mind here? Springboard missile drop kick. Top rope assisted. Dynamic display by Steven. And now it's DC, pinned smack in the middle of the ring. 2, only a 2. DC's turn to come close to defeat, but the shoulder up barely in the nick of time. And now ankle lock locked in, but once again, Steven able to get to the rope break. And DC positioning Steven, running clothesline, down he goes, and to the mid rope this time. And moonsault once again, the air, beautiful, beautiful. Did not immediately go for the pinfall. Quick boots to the spine for good measure. And 1, 2, 3. With that, the Sold Clout champion defeats the Intercontinental champion to remain the top. DC, you may want to turn around. You may want to turn around. Jeneth Astorio was defeated by DC, and I don't think she's done with him. That is a terrifying view into what may be in DC's future, but that is for a future night. For tonight, I have been your Clout Missioner, Captain Tyriant Guidel. And as always, until next time, remember to stay #out for Clout.